Welcome to the Paranormal Gateway ParaTalk. I'm your host, Scott Wise, and the other host, Mel, can't make it tonight. She's not feeling well, so I hope to get better soon. Tonight's special guests are East Coast Coalition Paranormal Investigation, which is headquartered in Massachusetts. David Butterworth founded the team in 2017 alongside Joe White, which is no longer with the team. Joining David tonight is Tammy White, Journey Tetlow, and Mike Rillinger. We'll hear some of their experiences in the paranormal field, including a shadow they call other under investigations. We will share that tonight on the show. Congratulations to ECCPI for being on the cover of January and February American Paranormal Magazine, the Rhode Island edition. So without further ado, let's welcome ECCPI to the show. Howdy, y'all.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how you guys doing?
Good, good.
You still me a shadow thing. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I
So
know.
we'll get that then. But why don't you guys introduce yourselves and how you got into the field and the boss yourselves, if you don't mind.
Of course. I guess I'll start. I'm David. I'm the founder of the East Coast Coalition of Paranormal Investigators. Like you said, it was alongside another member at the time, Joe, who's no longer with the team. I think he left in 2019. Since then, we've kind of done some restructuring, instituted a whole new management structure here, which we have Mike with me here, who's part of the management team, as well as Tammy. Um, we kind of service a lot of client kind of cases. We don't really do those publicized locations. We have done SK Pierce a couple times in Massachusetts here out in Gardner. Um, but we won't get into a little bit of that, but a little bit of history on me. I started in the paranormal pretty young, got interested around 12, 14 years old, between that age range. Had a lot of experiences growing up, and it kind of coincided with, Ghost Hunter show and all that. So it kind of really piqued my interest. I had shadow figures. I have a lot of stories I can tell. Probably take up an hour right there. But just growing up in a house that was extremely active and kind of just piqued my interest into trying to figure out why and figuring out how can I stop it from affecting my family. Um, and since then, I've been part of two other teams, and eventually just decided to start this team to kind of align with the goals that I want to accomplish, which is just helping people. And along with that, while helping people kind of further investigation, like research wise for the field in general. Um, so we do a lot of different experiments or different types of things to try to expand knowledge that we can then share with other teams and viewers like people watching here tonight.
Yeah, it's so important that some groups go out there and they go in there and do all this stuff, and they don't care about the clients or anything. And like that's one thing we always did. Is got back to our clients a couple weeks down the road, and make sure everything's okay. But that's one thing that I couldn't stand from other groups that didn't take care of the clients afterwards, because we
Yeah,
always chatted up with them.
of course. I mean, we've had several clients we've gone back and helped two, three times. We're always available for our clients or anyone really if they have any questions or just need help with anything. We go in with the skeptics mindset, scientific approach. Not all of our are scientific based, but we kind of mesh well. We kind
Mm-hmm.
of have a process that works for us to get to the bottom of it. And the ultimate goal, regardless of our approach, is to help people.
Yes, that's right. I think when we first joined, it was the same way with us. That once you go out together and get a more cohesive group together, and once you go out, it's just back going into certain places. So, yeah,
Yeah.
great. That's awesome. Who's next?
Ladies first. Go ahead, Tammy.
Uh, Still no audio from Tammy there and Joni.
I guess Michael's on next.
I'll go. My name is Mike Rillinger. I joined the team a few years back. I've had experiences growing up, and that's kind of what got me interested. And I pushed it off a little bit, um, and then I kind of went through a little enlightening situation in life. And decided to attempt anything that piqued my interest, and that's when I met David. And from day one, David and Tammy and the entire crew, I loved what they were doing about helping people. Um, and I take that skeptic approach into how I operate as well, and it fit really really well. Um, I love what we've been able to accomplish in the short time I've been a part of it. Um, David and Tammy do a phenomenal job, and Joni builds some pretty amazing pieces of equipment. So I think that we have a good mix of everything involved that you need for a team. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And maybe get this talk to Tammy tonight. Can you guys hear us? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
No, we can't hear him at all.
So you just yes no questions? I'm real strong.
I don't know. Technology can be
Yeah.
an asset or a crutch.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
I got you.
You heard us?
Got it's the echo though.
Echo.
Yeah. Do you guys hear it?
Yeah, we hear you.
Mike, do you hear us?
Yep, I can hear everyone fine, but I hear the echo as well.
Yeah, I got the echo.
Because yes,
Yeah.
I'm there for echo cancellation or that. The
Is that-
better? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little better.
Well, I did something right. I can hear you now. But I already did fix it. Cool. All right. Hey guys, your turn to talk.
Hey. I started just like David. Had several experiences when I was younger. My first paranormal team was at the age of 17 with my Aunt Cindy, who just passed away a month ago. We would go investigate houses, do house cleansings, and then I had children, so I stepped away. And then I worked behind the scenes with another paranormal team. And then when that folded, I met David and Joe and joined ECCPI.
Wow.
I'm Joni, and I was into the paranormal growing up, but never really into the investigation until I met Tammy, and that's when we started investigating together.
Wow. So, I'm just curious yourself. How many investigations you've been on since you've been in the group?
Oh man. It's been quite a few. I mean, a lot have been team member houses because surprisingly, a lot of our team members have houses that have activity in them. Even
I
now,
do.
where yeah, I don't know if it just follows us or what, but even now, the house I live in, we've investigated 2-3 times. We've done a cleansing; it still comes back. I mean, I'm right in the heart of the Hockomock Swamp area in the Bridgewater Triangle, so right in the heart there in Massachusetts, and it's just energy everywhere. But I don't know how many investigations have we been on since 2017.
You could want some better ones that had the best evidence if you want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we showed you that shadow. I sent you the shadow figure we caught at a case in 2020 with our first investigation with the new Lorax cameras we had just purchased.
I can show that if you want right now. It's up to you. You want to share it now?
Yeah. Do you have it? You used to have it, or?
Yeah, I got it. I have the original and then the Zoom one. So
Maybe do the original one first. See what
yeah,
we got here.
yeah, it's original.
This gets me every time.
I know.
I mean, once you see it, you see it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's easily overlooked until you see it.
Right. It's up on the left hand corner, top of the stairs, where the banisters are. It gets in around 15 seconds. Yeah, I'll play that one again, then I'll do the Zoom one.
Yeah.
There's some nice cameras.
It just gets me every single
Yeah.
time.
Every single time.
It is.
And what the viewership should understand is this house was under renovation at the time, so nobody lived in this house. Its history was pretty special as well.
It's just so cool.
It's creepy and it's cool.
Yeah.
I had one for 11 years ago, shadowed on the stairs in the basement of a residential case in York, Pennsylvania. And it shows us all going up the stairs in the basement. You close the door, and when you look about a few seconds in the video, you can see like a shadow in between the slats of the stairs. And it goes out, comes in, it goes back in the end.
Wow.
I'll play it here, see if we can check. I'll play a couple times. Oh, wrong one. I have it here somewhere. Maybe I didn't drag it in. Well, I'll play it once I find that one.
Yep.
It might be at the bottom. Here, it's the bottom. See, that's it again. I'll play mine.
Jeez.
See, I love that video.
Yeah. I think it's actually the first time it's been showed on a podcast too. So, I mean, we've showed. I think in the American Paranormal magazine, we had some clips or some snippets of it, but you can't really see it as well in that. It's just seeing it in the video itself. It really,
right,
mind blowing.
Right. It's full figure too. I mean, it's not.
Oh yeah.
It's not a little out and back like.
No, I mean you have it's like full motion. It's like peering around the banister to look down the stairs. And like Mike said at the time, no one's in that building, and we were having our team meeting before we started the entire investigation. So that was right after we were done setting up.
Well, they're probably pissed off because you got there and doing renovating.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do my house, man. Get the hell out.
Pretty much.
And then we did a subsequent investigation, same location. And Joni, wasn't there an SLS or Tammy? I forgot who was working it. There was an SLS capture standing right behind me because I went right up to that landing to try and figure something out. And there was an SLS right behind me.
Oh, really?
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Wow.
It was walking right up the SLS camera. At the time, we had a stable one that was on the stairs, and it caught the figure with following him up the stairs. That was a good one.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't know what SLS camera is. They used to take one of those Xboxes, and then they use the tracking system for it.
Right,
Yeah.
but we have the more advanced SLS.
You got to
We
throw
create-
the camera around.
Yes, correct. But we have the one where the original SLS, if you look at, like, you take your hands and put a peripheral view on yourself. You just block out your peripheral views. And that's what you're going to get with the original SLS.
Right.
With this new SLS, you just take your hands away and you have a wider range. And you also have more range on your distance.
Yep.
So with that, it's a lot better concept and it works great.
And it cover the whole room. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. You could get the whole room and down a hallway with the new SLS.
Oh, wow. Do you still need any kind of infrared or anything?
Yes. Does the infrared, it does, the black and white with the infrared with the IR night.
That's cool.
And also can do the 3D as well.
That's cool. That's how my friend Bill has one too. So we like using that when we go out investigations.
Yes.
Here, I'll show you the shadow real quick before we go on from the basement. Between the stairs, about 4 steps up, I think it is.
Okay.
That's my big butt going up the stairs here at the end. This is back in 2011. We just bought those cameras. We'll see it up to the door, and then you'll notice that I can't really point I can see, but if you look between one area between a step and the railing, you see a little thing come out.
Oh, yeah.
See it there at the top?
Yep.
And then it goes out and comes back in.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Jeez.
We did, what we used to do is get a copy of videos and stuff. We go over it, and Bill, my friend and I had that video. He called us up and we went over and tried to debunk it with doors open and lights and everything, but you could say we were upstairs and there's no windows coming in that side of the basement. There's a bookcase there on their side of the stairs. So we couldn't debunk it. That place was very active because we do our investigations, we do we call timeout, and we'll walk outside for like 15 minutes to half an hour break. Yeah, kayak in, and then we go over the audio and stuff. That place sounded like pots and pans slamming, dishes slamming, breaking, everything. Nothing.
Jeez.
That actually had the case of a little boy who was treated off some guy named Jeffrey, I think. He had bad dreams about a guy named Jeffrey.
Oh.
And we tried to do some research, I think. I don't know if we ever figured out who it was or not, but yeah, he was having problems.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a lot of those heartfelt cases with kids involved. We hate. We would jump right away if the kids involved. I call them up.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the same place right away, and we'll go down. And like one of the investigations we did down in Maryland was a residential case. It was out in kind of like, I don't know if it was a farmhouse, but kind of like that. They're having problems with activities down there, and they kept feeling like a little girl there, a little kid. And so we went down and went around, and they felt safe. We had somebody come in and do a smudging. You know, we helped, we had to make them feel better, you know. And as we're doing this, I replay it back on the audio from the camera, and I got this little voice, a little girl, I think it's a little girl, and it says, "I think I'm crossing over, mother."
Wow.
Yeah, I got that on the audio, man. It's. I'll send it to you after the show. You listen to it.
Yeah.
So we heard that. I'm like, I got chills. I get chills now. You know.
Yeah.
That would give me chills too.
Yeah. That,
I mean,
For sure.
definitely has so much stuff was lying around and stuff, and we were down to kind of stuff. It stopped then, but we went back down about 6 months later and checked on them. They're doing better.
that's good.
But yeah, so we like doing them, but with our schedules and my friends working on weekends now, and at that time we couldn't get out as much, and I hate it because I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm trying to get
That's
better. Trying to get better out here now, but it's not hard to out here because I only have a couple people in group now. So,
That same investigation we had, and unfortunately Joe took the footage with him. We believe there was children in the building, we had a ball rolling up and down the hallway playing with the ball.
That was at
Unfortunately-
SK, wasn't it?
Yes,
That was
SK.
a separate
Yeah.
investigation than the one we
Was it-
captured there.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
hey,
right. That's right.
Where's that at? SK? Where's that? SK?
SK Pierce Mansion. That's over in Gardner, Massachusetts. It's one of the most haunted places, and it's
Right.
one of the most well-known haunted places in Massachusetts.
Right. I've always wanted to get up there for investigation.
It's a really good place. Prepare yourself when you go in, though.
Yeah. No, I'll get together sometime on investigation. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going to SK. I've never been.
I'm old school, so I'm saying there now.
Yep.
I got a recorder and my camera. That's me. I got the one of the S boxes too. We use it every once in a while, but we don't
Yeah.
do too much of that.
I like the old school equipment and approaches, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm tech savvy, so I like all these really technical things too. So
Yeah.
I like trying to be
Yeah.
on the cutting edge,
Dude,
but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll do new stuff too. Like I said, that guy, Bill, who's on our team. I love Bill. He can serve stuff that made for us. Well, I was talking to you about the 3D printer. I think you said that Joni did that too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have two of them.
Yeah, and I have this here. I don't know if you want to show toys or not, but I have this here he made. It's a music box.
Nice.
It's got a sensor in front, and I can load any kind of music on it.
My husband and I just built one similar to that. We also did. We're in the middle of doing the music box with the old Jack in the Box sound to it too.
Wait till you hear mine. Wait till you hear mine. We call this the Lilith box. Wait till you hear this one.
Now that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, I got up to the minute one, but Mike also cut down the only time I want one. I have this
Yeah.
set for like 45 seconds or something before it goes off.
There it is.
You're definitely going to know that one was playing. That creeped me out the first time.
Well-
hearing that.
Well, I gotta tell you this. The first time I got to use it, well, at a post-house elementary school, but the second time was out here in Ohio at the fire museum. And the old guy who runs it, I love that guy. He's cool. We got a chance to come down, maybe we'll do that. And he was going around showing the people who were never there before. I was there 4 times, so I don't need to tour or anything in the museum, fire museum. So they were taking 2 girls around, and I had this set up on the step up on the fire engine,
Right.
Yep.
and I didn't tell him it was on. And this old guy walked by and goes, he goes, what the? He jumped, he looked at that shit, blah. So he said the F word, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, oh my God, if I want to turn it off, I'll turn it on when we start. But I forgot about it. And I was like, oh, I should have told him.
That's a good one for the
You're going
blooper reel.
to give me an effing heart attack. So,
That would be a good one for a blooper reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Well, I told her to do, but next time I think what I put it on is the air horn.
Oh, oh man.
Touchy subject. I made the blooper reel off of a train horn.
Oh yeah, I still got that one. That was the investigation or second investigation of the place where the shadow was captured, and we have him and I think 2 other investigators going out to the garage or barn, carriage house, whatever it is, and then a train horn goes off right around the corner and they all jump.
Or Barry do chicken dance.
In our defense, that was right after Joni had her experience in the carriage.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
we were a little amped up.
Yeah.
I just see, yeah, it stops the chicken dance and do investigation.
Another good blooper. We're all sitting at
Oh.
a table, and a cat jumps up when it's pitch black. Makes everyone just jump.
Or when they go around your leg when you're. But there's the whole investigation I went to was up in New York, the historic museum, and they have ghost cats here. And we actually caught one on audio. And the funny thing about it is the guy who was up on tour and they went along with us, and he was telling us, he already knew what it sounded like when the cat was out. I was like, man, you could lift up the cat's tail all the time. And I'm like, first you talk about that in the background, you hear, meow, meow. The same time we talking about it. I'm like, that place is awesome too, yeah. But I've been touching a leg before in post, but I never got really scratched or anything.
I think I've been scratched once or twice.
But I just think they're breaking herself known. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's most places are. A lot of people say, demons! No.
Yeah, that's
No,
one thing I think
that's
Hollywood has
Yeah.
made the first response is, oh, it's a demon. No,
Yeah.
no. The chances of that are very, very slim, but
Right. Well, they're bad people, but I mean,
yeah.
we never had any problems with that, so.
No.
I gotta say, I love you already, too. But I had script, too, like, cute, you know, I had that
Yeah.
already, too. Or I got called the C word already. So, yeah. But, yeah, you can back over this audio evidence. I love going back through that stuff. I can do that hours upon hours.
Oh, yeah.
But I just love doing that stuff. We get that stuff.
Yep.
No,
We've gone into investigations where the client themselves, and we debunk a lot of things, and they would get upset with us because we've debunked a lot.
mhm.
And you can't say the house is haunted if we're able to debunk things.
Right.
And there have been clients who get very angry with us because of this. We're not going to say your place is haunted if we're able to debunk a lot of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We had a couple of places. We never had a whole bunch, but got a lot of activity out of it. But we take forms along from the field out and have them answer questions, and we go around and check the draft, the windows and stuff, and do all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, each Friday do the same thing, and then you come back and say, well, we'll come back to the investigation whenever it's possible, and come back and do it. You know what to look for here. You get the map of the house layout, and you go back and know what you're going to do. And it helps out a lot. So.
Yeah. I mean, there was one client we had, I think it was 2019, almost on Cape Cod. It was a last-minute case, child involved. Mother kept saying the child was getting scratched all the time. She had reached out to other teams, and they just said, oh, it's all in her imagination. And I had a hunch that it was going to be something explainable. So, but to put her mother at ease, because, you know, children's involved, and we're here to help people, we took the case. I went and met with the client, and first thing I asked goes, you guys have a lot of headaches here? As soon as you walk in, you could just tell. And she goes, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, well, and I'm going checking the EMF, and it's way, way up there. Mm-hmm. And I explained that the effects of EMF, especially on small children who are hypersensitive to it, they can have...
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you can get headaches, nausea. It can even make scratches on you because it gets everything out of whack. Mm-hmm. And she was saying how doctors couldn't figure out what was going on. And when we looked at where the crib was, it was right in between two outlets that had faulty wiring. So we still went through with the investigation, even though we were able to debunk that. But it put them a lot at ease. We even went as far to find ways to kind of mitigate the effects with Stetzerizers, plugging those into different outlet circuits, mm-hmm. which reduces the EMF field coming off of faulty wiring.
Yeah,
so
we had faces off the charts, but Bill made a EMF pump that actually shoots out EMS.
Yep.
And he always chases me with it. I think, it makes me sick. So he puts it on me, I get sick. So I had this set for that, and I first time found that out when we were on investigation residential in the basement, and we were back to check on the out areas, and it said basement was hauling it and stuff, and we were down there, and I was throwing back in the other room where they had the fuse boxes and stuff. He goes, come back here once. I got hit in the hallway, ain't good now, I'm with that stick. You gotta come here. I'm not coming here. You should see the readings on this. It's off the charts. I said, man. You know, some of this old wiring are just cloth or that cotton wrapped old copper wire stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real hard stuff. And we told him, you know, you better check this. It causes fire too, because some of the wires were bare. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
It's just waiting to happen.
Yeah, you get a power
So-
surge, and that's a risk right there with catching fire.
Right, and I thought we weren't. We told him, you know, get hold of somebody about it. So we checked back and did, and you're gonna do so much, you know.
Yeah.
And we followed up a couple times and told him about it, but there's places are like I said, you just walk in and I'll stick razor like out again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, we've had some interesting places we've gone to. The place in Rhode Island there with the murder suicide, just a few years prior to us going there, and Mike had some fun in there.
oh yeah.
It was his first. I think it was his first investigation with one of the first.
It was. So I worked at a prison for a few years, and then I was in the military. So being around quote unquote gory situations, it doesn't faze me too much. So they told me that she was dismembered in the bathtub, and
Yay! God,
I decided to go hang out in the bathtub for a little while. So,
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing.
but it did look like there was still some remnants around the drainage.
I mean, we had a member who's into forensics and all that, and he swabbed the drain and it still came back as blood.
Oh,
So
Lord.
they didn't do the greatest job cleaning up.
Why you say that? Get in and get out. That's very nasty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got to hang out in the bathtub where the person was dismembered.
Kind of my thing.
Yeah. Did you get EVPs running there?
We didn't catch any EVPs there. The only activity you had was on the ball. There was concentrated energy on the ball.
Oh, your electro ball thing, where
Yeah.
if you touch it, it kind of makes the. I don't even know what that's called. What is that thing called, Joni?
The plasma?
The electric ball.
The electric ball. Yep.
Is that a plasma?
Oh,
ball?
the static.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
the
the
plasma
static
ball.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
plasma
that's-
glow.
Yeah.
But we were also limited there. I believe we couldn't get to the floor up where they also spent time.
So, yeah,
because
we
they
had-
rehabbing.
Yeah, lover.
We had access to the basement and third floor. The first floor was vacant at the time, and the second floor had another family living in it. So we didn't have access to the first or second floor, but the first floor was vacant, and we were hearing running children's footsteps above us in the basement. We're like, well, there's no one up there.
Right.
What's going on? But we couldn't actually get into that particular apartment.
Right.
So it was up for debate on what that is, but
Was there
Right.
SLS captures at that one too in that far room, I believe?
I think we had some SLS
Briefly.
captures, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
I think we also had some very hard to decipher EVPs too, of the possibly the woman, if I recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
The main EVPs we got was the last investigation that we were on with the veterans. But that was also with the new recorders that we have as well, which is more of a podcast type of recorders that it picks up in the 360 all around. I mean, these things
Oh,
are
yeah.
amazing. So, and they
Yeah.
sound like they're right next to you. I mean, so there is a good thing with technology, but there's a bad thing with technology as well. Because
Well-
sometimes some people can say, hey, that sounds way too close, way too clear.
Right.
But
Was that a task cam?
No, it's actually the the camcorders, the Zoom.
Okay, all right. I was talking
Yes,
about. Just sorry.
I have. Yeah, I have the large one, and Tammy has the smaller one. They're incredible pieces of equipment. They're amazing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my investigator friend, he has one. He got one of those a couple years ago. Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
They
Yep.
really
Because
are.
like when you get there on the tank, you can hear fruits around you.
You
Yep.
really do.
Yeah,
You do.
yeah.
Yep. I
Yeah.
mean, we just got this past. I think for the last investigation, I think we got a thermal camera finally, which is pretty cool. Well, we haven't really had much time to use it yet. Up here, the
Right.
winters are kind of our slower time for investigations. We tend to pick up end of the spring, summer, and fall months. So
Yes.
Yeah, it's one there get out there. When it's too cold, you only go out.
yeah,
I knew we were waiting there. We got a weird, like yesterday, it was like 19 degrees, and today we got it up and we had a high of 73.
yeah. I think it was 63. I think it's my car said this today.
But on
Like,
the flip
geez.
side, we had that Connecticut investigation where it was 107 degrees inside the house.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Oh.
Lord.
We had we got a school. Actually, first time they had ACE. We went in the summertime. It was so hot in there. But with school about post time, they have a separate area, classroom that we get into a bed area. Like you stay over, like we did for a weekend. And then air conditioners blasting or like Arctic frost in there, so take a break in there and go back out again. But I'm like sleeping like this when we got outside to get a little bit of sleep. I'm like, so I rather have the captain too hot. You know what I mean? I can at least bundle up.
Yeah.
Poor
So
Chris. Poor Chris was so.
Oh, I know. That first investigation of that case in Connecticut, we investigated that place, what, 2, 3 times? At least twice. We had some really good captures there, too. I think some of it are on our YouTube page and website. I have to double check, but we captured a mist go right across the camera. That was pretty cool.
oh
Um, we captured some crazy EVPs
Yeah.
in that place. It was insane. I mean,
We got in Connecticut, didn't we have the orb that was bouncing down the stairs and then across Tammy's lap?
yeah, and I'm not a believer in orbs that much either. And that was still, yeah,
but, there's orbs that you get used to it. Like with dust now. When you first start off,
Right.
there's people. I always tell people, "Oh, you got orbs in their house," and know it's basically just dust. But I said, what you do, we always hope you, why don't you go over and pound on your sofa and then take a picture?
yeah,
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, the ghost!
yep. So usually in my lengthy report to the clients after the investigation, it's usually anywhere from 5 to 15 pages, depending. I break down, each piece of equipment, what it captured, and if it didn't capture
Right.
anything. I usually don't include orbs as evidence, but if they're interesting enough and make us pause on it, I'll at least make a note of it. But I'll put a disclaimer that we don't say this is evidence. It's just something
Right.
we find interesting. Very few places I have labeled.
I should have done that video. I don't know if you know who Patty Canary is.
I
She
don't.
is. She's a psychic. She's a medium. You got her hair perfect.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the show there. I had her on a couple weeks ago. We call it an actual orb. This was no orb. And as well as you told me, I get here all the time. And it's plain to see that it goes around, background in the hallway behind her. I have it on my Facebook. I should have brought it up tonight. Damn it.
That's all right.
Yeah, I should have brought it up, but
Well, this
Yeah.
orb would bounced on the stairs, and then Tammy sat down on the stair next to it, and it kept going. It would bounce in her lap, and then it started bouncing in her hand when she put her palm out, and it started bouncing in her. So it definitely had a pattern.
Yep.
It's definitely not a dust that's just going to fly across the screen. Definitely had a pattern.
Yeah. Let me see here.
Is that the one where we caught the car accident 3 blocks over on the Parabolic?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Down the hill, we caught a really bad car accident too on
Yeah.
audio.
All the issues to get some better routers, but this one best one we got out place for you here. We're up in New York at the historical museum, and they had this place down the road called Phelps General Store, and we were upstairs in the dining room, and then we had to record downstairs. And it starts off with the guy who's with us doing a tour. He says, "Come on, you guys, do something for these guys who live in Europe, Pennsylvania. Do something, say something, whatever." And right after that, you hear this, what they say here. So we swear what they're saying.
Hey, come on out. These guys came all the way from Pennsylvania to come and see you. Did that light just go out on that computer? Is there a reason that did that?
Hopefully again.
Yep.
Hey, come on out. These guys came all the way from Pennsylvania to come and see you. Did that light just go out on that computer? Is there a reason that did that?
Oh, that's good.
So we think it says, "Come on down with us."
Hey,
Wow.
come on out. These guys
That's a good capture.
Yeah. We look at many. I consider out of Casse. I mean, I think that one is, but I don't call many of them to it. But
That's a good one.
Yeah.
we went up in New York at a prison that had one that said, "No shit." That was pretty funny day too. No shit.
Yep. I just wish when I was from the house I grew up in, I wish I still had the audio from it. But after I captured it and ended up the hard drive on whatever the computer was stored on fried. When I was very young, probably, I don't know, 14, 15 years old, just starting, got my first audio recorder, EMF detector. And me and my buddy were just doing investigation in my bedroom. I was sitting on the floor. He was across from me. My back was to the closet. And he started provoking something we don't do on the team now. I've learned as an investigator, it's not going to do any good. You're just going to piss off things, make it worse for people. So we don't provoke. But back then, I was young, stupid. He was provoking it. Next thing you know, I feel a rush of cold air over my right shoulder. He gets up, screams like a little girl, runs down the stairs. I follow him. We leave the recorder up there. And never forget it. We go back, get the recorder like 20 minutes later and review the audio. We have a little girl laughing like, ha ha ha, I think he's scared of me. And when we was downstairs, he was describing, I saw this girl rush out of the closet, disappeared at you. She had like a messed up face and everything. And that just, I can still hear the voice it's just ingrained in my memory now.
Yeah.
And I wish I still had the audio for it because it was amazing. Like it went right up to the audio recorder and set it right to it. Like it knew what was going on.
I think the most chilling audio I've heard on an investigation, and it was after Tammy's mom had passed away. We had investigated her old place, and I went back on the audio, and her mother would just call her. She'd be the only person that would call her Tammy Ann. And she was yelling in the audio, Tammy Ann. And that's when we first tested the original REM pod that we created. And it was going off. She was showing us that. And the audio I had to stop it. Started crying, everything. Never had a loved one come through like that. Ever. Even Tammy, she had a hard time listening to that audio. That right there was proof to us that we're definitely picking up spirits.
Yeah. I had the same thing with my friend, my best friend. passed away many years ago, and it kind of sucked because the funeral was on my birthday. I kind of sucked altogether. But he used to volunteer at York Little Theater in York, Pennsylvania, and we did an investigation there. And I called him on there, and when he talked, you could hear his voice, and he never said hi, and he said, "Hey, hey Scott," or whatever.
Yeah.
And I picked that "Hey Scott" up, and I said, "Oh my God, it sounds exactly like him." So I called my friend up. And we were all together, a lot of times together. I played for him. He was, "That's Steve." I'm like, "Oh my God." So that's kind of, when I heard that, oh, he's fine, he's okay. And I have dreams about him all the time now. I mean, at least once a month I'll get these weird dreams, or I'll say, "Dude, you're supposed to be dead. Why do I see you here?" Like, and I told him one day, she says, "Well, he come to visit you." So
Yep.
that's
Just
nice.
popping in to say hello.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. But
Yeah.
some of the other DPs I got, like, we had the opportunity to do an investigation of a church that was built back in 1818. And they still had congregation. They were nice inside. They kept it up and everything. And had an old cemetery with it. And we caught like a figure running by a tombstone on camera. But we also picked up a ghost choir on it. My friend was setting up the video camera. It's actually caught on the video camera itself. We're going over it. I'll play for you. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not? That just reminds me of out here. I hear Indian, like Native American chants and drums and everything in the distance all the time out here.
Is that okay now? So we're not going to play? Oh, it's there. It's just real low. What the hell? I don't know why it's so low.
Jeez.
Wow.
Can you hear it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
We kept trying. It sounded like divining, but we couldn't find a hymn or anything that had the name divining.
Wow.
That place is a hotbed. Whew.
Wow.
They called the usher going by the window, and yeah, that was a good
Wow.
place. It's closed now. Sucks, but
Yep.
that place, I've been there a few times.
Yep. Man, what other man.
But plans coming up, guys. I plans are going anywhere. Or
Right
once
now,
once it gets nice.
yeah, once it gets nice, I mean, we are always looking for cases. Regardless if it's cold or not, we'll still do it. It's just we tend to have a less amount during the cold months.
Right.
This year is kind of a reset year. We've lost a couple members. But with that, we're also bringing on a lot of new members, or we're trying to.
Mm-hmm.
I have a philosophy that I like to take on people that are brand new to the field. A lot of teams, when I was starting out, I would have, reached out to teams like, "Oh, you have to have experience." It goes, well, how am I supposed to have experience? So I like to take on new people and train them and show them the ropes, and just so
Yeah.
I like taking a chance.
I've done that. I've done it with my newest member now, Mel, who does the hosting with me. She joined about a year and a half ago, and we got a few places, but we got a few out doing cemeteries. I'll go out and look at headstones and stuff, but I'll take a report along too. A lot of people think, well, they're dead going out there, but I caught some stuff already up there. But a lot of people are against it and don't think, but
I did a lot of investigations at cemeteries when I was first starting out. My first team I was part of, we did a lot of it. We went to the cemetery where Lizzie Borden was buried, and I had a pretty insane experience there, chasing an elemental or something. We saw, flashlight. We could see it. Oh, cloudy blue eyes peering over a headstone, and as we get closer it would just disappear and then show up 20, 30 yards away. We just kept following it. We eventually surrounded it into a bush, and then it was just gone. We couldn't find any trace of it. We couldn't figure out what it was. All we just saw were blue cloudy eyes staring back at us. At the same time, we had a shadow kind of following us as well.
Excuse me.
But
The only cemetery we did was we did the Blood Cemetery, which is notorious here in the area, and then we did Gilson Road. That was probably the worst one. We actually had, it sounded demonic behind Tammy, and that's not a word to use lightly. We've had some things with that cemetery, that's for sure. And then the Dudley Road, which is notorious in Massachusetts, where a few nuns got hung by an inmate that was murdered and hung them from a tree that hung over the road. That was probably one of the scariest things I've investigated myself.
Yeah.
Brought something home that night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't wanted.
We had a place to go called Pioneer Cemetery. That was a real old one. And that was up in, I think, South Shore Mountains. And this drive's like, they 3 miles back up on a hill. And the cemetery was about, I'd probably guess, maybe 150 yards and 150 yards. That's not real big. And there's trees there, but when it is light out and there's no moon, it's pitch black. You can see your hand in front of your face.
yeah.
So it was, that's all you were walking and stuff. But, yeah.
Cemeteries can be difficult to investigate when it comes to audio as well.
Crickets. I hate crickets. I hate them.
I know.
Chirp, 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 chirp. Oh,
Yes.
Jesus. Then what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to create some software that removes those little bastards.
There we go. I'll buy it. Man.
Fuck them all, yeah.
I'm hoping we'll have more. I'm hoping we'll have more equipment this coming year with the whole pandemic. It put a halt on a lot of things to be able to build it and get a hold of the items that we need. So, I mean, there was limited quantity of it all. So I'm hoping that now we'll be able to get that activated. We just, like you just showed us, we already have one of those built. And then we have the Ghost, the motion music box coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And for the future, I'm planning on hoping it's going to be more or less like a touch vest to prove that a body can be touched, and it will be proven that when you get touched, it's that vest is in that one spot's going to light right up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that's my goal for that one, and hopefully more from there out. But hopefully we'll get more.
But, yeah, I think I see what you get that. And some below equipment
Yes.
they have. I'm not that technical about that kind of stuff. I mean, I built the PBS7 Radio Shack. I couldn't do that already, but that was many years ago. Yeah.
I just do a lot of research. And I'll just research until I go cross-eyed, and then I come across an idea, and then my husband will build the whole thing once we have all the components. So he'll get 3D printing and he'll build it for me. So we're a team with that part.
Yeah.
And then he'll say, okay, let's try it this way, and we'll try it a different direction.
That's really kind of weird. When he said 3D printer, I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
And he painted it and stuff. I thought 3D.
Wow.
Yeah. On the inside, it's supposed to wires hook the speakers that has a 9-volt battery that you put in.
Yes.
I replaced battery today.
And that's just it. Sometimes it's the simple components with these devices that make them work. You don't need high end. A lot of team think, oh, we're going to go with building this extravagant piece of equipment, but you could start off with smaller and then work your way up.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, you can see videos where you can get project boxes and they'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it doesn't really take that much to make little detectors and stuff.
yeah.
Where we go up to
Yep.
they're pretty easy to make.
Correct.
But
We've
Yeah.
3D printed some. We have a couple that are. My husband printed a purple one because my favorite color is purple. So, and we've had good luck with that in one of the last investigations as well.
yeah,
Having been able to put every different ones, and now with this new IR one that was just built, we can actually put any sound we want to into it. David brought up an idea about putting different genres of the years into this device, so
yeah.
that way, like in the 1800s, you want to do
Yeah.
like maybe some like little country music or something.
but old time radio. That'd be
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I mean, I my theory behind it is, let's make music boxes that have different eras. So if we're investigating a home or something built in the 1800s, we'll have music that correlates with that. Same with early
Yeah.
1900s and then mid 1900s, and see if we get any specific responses to each type of music from that era.
correct.
see with this what he made. It has a USB input
Yes,
where I can put any kind of music on it.
yes.
So I think I'll do chicken dance. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it.
Do the chicken
Yeah,
dance with the touch vest. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
The chicken dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I reading the wedding and stuff, I'd be in such a drunken sleeper every after dinner. I deal with hell, so I was 5-6 steps behind, and my wife and I got, this is how well I can dance. My wife and I got married in Punta Cana, and they were doing like a line dancing to one of the songs.
Yeah.
It was called the Lay Payab of the song. I'm doing a dance and stuff like this. I'm like, whack! I punched the lady beside me in the face. I'm sorry. Oh well, that's graceful,
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a walker now to go around with, so that's how I get around now.
Yeah.
But you guys ever get to any paranormal adventures?
It's something we want to try to get more of this upcoming year and upcoming years after that, is get more of these paranormal conventions. It's just getting into our hectic schedule because we have some members in New Hampshire, some in Rhode Island, some in Massachusetts.
Right.
So we're kind of scattered. But it's something we definitely want to try to get more of to get us more exposure.
Yeah. We're going to me and Mel are going to this one at Ohio here in May. I've been there a few years ago. It's Mansion Paracyclone.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to that.
When in May is that one?
That's May 20th, like weekend.
Okay. Because I have vacation from work at the beginning of May, end of April.
Where did I go? You're on vacation. Why don't you take the, 6-hour trek?
It's probably about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's an hour away from me, so it's not bad for me. It's not fun. I got like probably 2 pictures from last time I was there. Because I won't be able to get downstairs much with the walker, because I don't think they have elevator there, but usually a flight of stairs like 10 steps up. I can lift it up and go up and one hand and put it down and walk with it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of paracons around here
No,
lately.
it seems like there's been a reduction in the last
Yeah.
year or
Right.
so. I mean, the ones that are around are huge, but it's just a lot of the smaller ones I feel like aren't as prominent as they once were.
Right. And now we're based on like horror conventions, and I like Parasite.com because you get speakers, you get to see other vendors, you can buy books if you want, and it's a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I think we should take a road trip to Ohio.
I think so.
there you
I
go.
think there's a few places out there we could probably investigate.
Yeah. Come on out, we'll go to the firehouse.
All right, sounds like a
Okay.
plan to me.
Sure.
Yeah. Get you in there.
If there's a bathtub, we'll send Mike into it.
No Mr. Bubbles.
Now, if we
I
still,
just bought a new shower cap too.
Wait.
We're in luck.
how a diver suit says, how
Feel the sea.
bring a scuba gear. Oh,
I don't know.
Definitely
Boy
would
doesn't
be.
bother me.
Oh man.
that sounds disgusting or anything. Maybe you all, next time you do it, you all go to one of Halloween shops and get dismembered limbs and take them with you. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. I'm saying individual. I'm talking about my wife all the time. Yeah. Yeah, she put up with me for 22 years, so.
Yep.
I was going to put me out to the curb, but there's no curb here, so shit put me out on one. Yeah.
One of the other places I've always wanted to investigate. It's up in Maine. As a gentleman goes to Carmel, Maine. That place is interesting. I would love to investigate that place.
What's it called?
Ghost of Carmel, Maine.
That's look it up.
I don't think I've heard of it.
He's he's on YouTube. It started out as he caught a lot of activity in his house. There's been one paranormal group that went in there that is based out of Maine, and the activity this man has in his house is intense. In his room, you can see the black figure jump off his curtain and then jump down onto the floor. Then the group that went in there had the black mass run from the back of a woman into a hole into the basement. It was intense.
That sounds like an imp.
It does sound like an imp.
Yeah.
He's got too much activity in there, but I'd love to go and check that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your
Just for the
San Francisco.
scientific part itself. Right?
Yeah.
We have to get to more places. It's the cost so much. I mean, these places you want to go
It's-
pay, it's ridiculous. So we try to get at least 7 to 10 people to go to make it. But if I get in for around $70, I'll be okay with that. But I don't
Yeah.
like to. I went up to 100 already at place, but that's because one people backed out, so we pay her spot. But
Yeah.
which I don't mind doing, man. I mean, it's a cool place, all stuff out of it. So that's why I talk about other groups getting together. Maybe we can set something up and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get like 7 or 8 people and $50,
Yeah.
just for $70, and most places like the school down here, I feel like that take one like 200 a night or something like that, 250 a night for that. But
Is that a person or is that just in general?
that's for the whole altogether.
Oh, that's
For
not
a
bad at
night.
all.
No,
Yeah,
For
the
some
price-
places that
yeah,
are.
but I think I made it 300, but we did a whole weekend. I think the whole weekend we got for 450 for a whole weekend. We got there from Friday night and stayed till a Sunday morning. And it was easier for me because I was an hour down the road, but my friends who live in New York, it's like 8-hour drive for them.
Yeah.
So I'd like the apparition again, but it's just that I need to get more people to go before I can,
Yeah.
before I can
Yeah.
schedule it and stuff. And
Yeah, some places are outrageous when it comes to
Yeah.
going and
I
investigating.
know, like one place here in Ohio, like 800 a night, and like, really,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
and it's a house. Yeah, so you got like 10 people in a house. Talk about contamination. My God, really? Well, we got to sit there in a group. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And
The
what was
Conjuring House is $225 per person now.
What?
Jeez.
Yes, $225. I checked a few days ago. They're doing investigations again, and that's what the going rate is.
That's
That's
crazy.
that's that Wacko, right? That's that, man. I'll never pay that much for investigation. No.
Yeah.
No, that's how we win the lottery. I'll cheat you. But, hey, guys.
I don't know if going in there is really a treat. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Just, well.
It is. I think you're seeing the novelty. People see the TV shows and they think it's a novelty, and
Yeah.
it's almost counterproductive. So hopefully, almost the TV thing will die down a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you get back to the
Yeah.
true scientific portion of it.
Yeah.
Well, no, the officers say, well, it's help with renovating, and who's there so it's renovating to do,
Yeah.
And then it gets to
Yeah.
the point where, okay, pay for the bills, the house, and, everything like that, but it shouldn't be costing, $800 if it gets fired a night to. And when you look on it, it's booked. I mean, a weekday is booked in some of these places.
Yeah. I mean, you would think weekdays would be cheaper, but they're not, and it's because of
Well,
these
some
places when they sell it's
Yeah, some are cheaper during the week by like
Yeah.
$100, but but still, I mean, it's still 100. Well, I get. I love to go to these places, but I'm not.
Even some of the clients are treating it as a novelty. We had one not that long ago where we're mid-investigation, and the next thing you know, people start coming in the door
yeah.
Yeah.
And the client invited people over to the house as we're
to watch what we were doing. So
Oh,
Yeah.
we did it too. And you told them no. What you're here. We ask if sometimes we ask the kids wouldn't be there either on certain ones.
yeah.
But with them, we're first taking a husband and wife there, and we get there and there's 4 cars out front. What's going on? You and there's snacks and stuff sitting out, and they'll feed us so we go there, buy pizza and stuff, we do the investigation and stuff. But they had a whole family there, and
Yeah.
I pulled aside. You gotta ask them to leave, or we're leaving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it ended up, I think they had some people leave that. But I mean, no.
Yeah. I think for the one.
Especially when you have signed contracts and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I mean, we ended up leaving. I think that investigation 2 to 4 hours early, something like that.
Yeah.
And we just came back with, we didn't find anything. I mean, we didn't when we were there. We couldn't. Most of the stuff was contaminated, audio-wise.
Yeah.
It's just that we can't do anything about it.
Or a lot of whispering.
Yeah. Some of the claims they had, we debunked, and they didn't want to listen to that either.
Yeah.
So,
The air conditioner in the ceiling making all the noises explained all the bumps in that one.
the shadow of the gun on the wall in the kids' room.
yeah.
It was headlights from a motorcycle from the neighbor next door going through the blinds and creating the look of a gun on the wall. And they didn't want to listen to it. They're like, nope, it's a gun. It's like, oh, okay.
We had a couple of different ones too. They'd be air conditioner or be the old radiators. When they fill up, they go noise. And it's like, let's go here. No,
Yeah.
it's not. I turned the pulse off, turn it back on again.
Hey, you'd be surprised. I mean, you'd think they would be more comfortable and be like, "Thank you so much for debunking all this," but no. When they get angry at you, you're like, "What? Wait, you wanted this?"
I mean, What, one of the first?
And one of the times during an investigation, this lady and her grandpa died in the house, and she had these blinds, like your slap blinds or like behind you, these blinds, right? If they're closed, well, she took a picture of it, and she says you know about Paradigm, right? And,
Yeah, Ardea.
well, she took a picture, and she said, I think I see my pappy in the blinds. Oh my God.
No.
And then, oh my God, we laughed so hardly on one night. She's
Yeah.
happy in the lines. Yeah, we know everything. I see babies' faces in oars and
Yeah.
no.
Yep. Then we have the ones that want us to come out there and we go debunk stuff. Then they have another team, and then it's like, oh, well, can you get us on TV? No, we cannot.
God.
You have nothing going on here. Yeah, but this happens. You're making it happen.
All up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the same to say all of this, but, just to comfort them, and give you your take on things, and then if they don't want to follow it, then, well, we came. We do it. What we're going to do, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So
We still leave the communication open with them if they wanted to
Yeah.
talk, and but nothing else we could do. I mean, we can't say it. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
not what we do as a team.
No.
Yep. I mean, there are very, very few clients or cases I go to where in the report I say your house is haunted. I think there's only been a handful, if that I can say with confidence.
That's same with us, too.
Most
Yeah.
of them it's usually nothing going on, possible unexplained phenomena that we couldn't debunk or disproves, but this possible phenomena that could cause it. Could be something just out of our realm that we couldn't find or locate. Or then finally, a third category is haunted or probably most likely haunted. But there are very, very few that fall into that last category. It's mainly the middle with unexplained. Might be a scientific reason, might not. We don't know.
And I think with catch evidence, too, the hardest ones to use to catch the video evidence. And they supposed to go in and find ghosts and stuff. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool if you set it up for a few hours and, go back and look at it and, we can do our opinion. If you don't like it, and we didn't charge anything. We came in and,
Yep.
so,
Yeah.
And going into some of these places too with abilities was like, no.
yeah. So we had a couple of wackos that
Yeah.
we got
Well-
in and out quick.
Yep.
But that's what we're here for, to at least for the people that do appreciate what we do, and being able to say that we're able to debunk these things. There will be people that will appreciate that.
Right. As long as there are a few of them out there,
Right. Yeah.
I feel more comfortable about it, better about
Right.
the whole situation.
At the end of the day, that's what matters, is that the homeowners or whoever is having the hard time, we're able to help them.
Yeah.
Right. And there's some that we have mentioned about, we'd always in our confidential forums, you always ask, are there drugs in the house? Do you do drugs? They don't have to answer, and a lot of them don't, but we found stuff already. And then we'd leave.
Yep.
Like, you want to hit? No.
No.
Thanks. No.
Good with that.
And then you go,
I see the kind of spirits we hear at night, the ones you're drinking.
and then you find certain unmentionables on beds like our last
Oh my God.
And your wife going, you look at those, I'm going to kill you.
Oh my God. We
There are
had
things you leave hanging out, and there's not things you don't leave hanging around.
And they were on display.
no, wow. Yeah.
That was funny.
Yep.
Yeah, we explained stuff before that we didn't have such a color to get through. It's like, you know, you would
Yeah.
think you had colors and pick up a little bit, but nah,
Yeah. No.
no. Oh well.
She had other stuff too. I think she had her drugs on the side,
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
and then she had
Yeah.
her brother in his urn right next to her pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We definitely
That
have
was-
paraphernalia.
That was
Oh
amazing.
my God.
We
And
still
then
had some
scaring
activity.
your wife in that investigation.
Yeah.
You made the bloopers. You absolutely made the bloopers.
Oh,
Yep.
we had one that has bomb questions on the desk.
Oh yeah. A lot of these questions I have for if you apply for an investigation, there's a reason why the questions are now on there. We have experienced it, and we want to be known. We want to be aware of it before we know what we're getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also that's about if they were a criminal background too. Could be kind of iffy about that sometimes too. You know, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, I do it. I mean, people change everything. I had to think about making each one themselves tend what they did, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That was fun.
Well, there's a couple places out here I'd like to come down and do with the Prospect place.
Yeah.
That would be a good one to get. They're booked pretty much through to the rest of this year probably. But you have to get in like almost a year ahead. But if I get like at least 6-8 people, probably
Yeah.
it would be a good
Let
deal. 'Cause I
let me
skip-
know, and I can
Would
pitch
love
it to the
to.
team, and we can
Yeah.
coordinate and get down there or
Yeah.
over there.
Or even just come down for the fire museum.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we have outdoors if you want. Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be. We haven't really gone to any of these big places in a long time. We haven't tested our new since we got our new cameras. We haven't. So
Yeah.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of itching to use those in a bigger location.
I have these cameras because they can dust. I might have to put online to sell. It's HL DVR. I have two systems with cables. That it's been probably 8 years since I used them. But it's a good system. It works really
Yeah.
good. But I we don't set up anymore. It just takes us too much of our time usually when we get to these places. But it was a couple of us. So back then we had like 6-8 people on our team. So it would take like about half an hour to set stuff up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, we usually take it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours to set up right now. With it's usually about an hour to an hour and a half with our new system, our Lorex. If we use our Night Owl system and our Lorex for bigger locations, it usually takes closer to 2.5 hours. But we've been getting better at it. Don't know how the next case is going to be since we've been kind of in a lull for the last few months. Going to get a little rusty on setup times, but
Like riding a bike, David.
yep.
Yeah, got
Yep.
these big security cases with stuff like it's just sitting back in the closet.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I think most of my closet is all paranormal gear.
Yeah. I got my big ass battery case holder.
Yep.
There's batteries out of it's going. I like that thing. It's awesome.
Yep.
Mine stacks as tall as I am, taller than me. I trip in door frames with that thing.
Yeah, the battery tower. Jeez.
Those stackables are wonderful.
Oh yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
investment?
Yeah.
Need to maneuver though.
Oh my. Yeah, I'm so antsy to get out. I'm joking. Okay, I just go out to the cemetery, walk around, take pictures of the stones and stuff.
Yeah,
Just to get out and do something.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we have actually had a guy on, E.R. Buckley. I bought one of his books, Haunted Cemeteries in Ohio. And he has broken down in this book by, like, east, northwest, and north, south Europe through all the different areas. And I went through his book and I wrote down the addresses and stuff and I put them into Google. And I made an app for it. So if you go in and you hit northwest, so it will take you northwest and it will show all the cemeteries in there. And if you want to go, just hit the button on your phone, it gets direction to there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I just finished out of that.
Nice.
I have not I don't live too far from it, but it's what they call the suicide bridge, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I live walking distance right there, the footbridge. A lot of people have committed suicide off from that bridge. They've either hung themselves or they've jumped in. It's just, and I've been meaning to get over there with the recorder and sometime, but just haven't done it.
Yeah.
Some areas of
Yes, it's sad, but
I
Yeah.
would love to get into the forest near you, David. In the
Yeah.
triangle. I would love
Oh
to
yeah.
get there.
what was that?
Hmm?
What was that?
It's in the heart of the Bridgewater Triangle over here, which is a very well known 200 square mile triangle. I forget what the borders are of it, but I mean we have Bigfoot sightings, superbird sightings,
Wow.
ghost sighting. We have everything, and it's a hotbed of activity. I mean, I have theories that I'm trying to prove down here too. I've reached out to many. There's a road that runs pretty much straight through, and almost every single bar and restaurant on that street has some type of activity in it. I would like to get the team in there to investigate and kind of see if we can link them all together somehow to prove that, activity travels down major roadways, waterways, stuff like that.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
cool. Right? Yeah, I love the gas stations that are out there and off the beaten path.
Yeah.
When it gets to go up in the woods, like 2 miles in the hills and stuff, that's awesome. So
yeah.
there's like my friend told me the first time up on it's a Hoffman Cemetery up by Pennsylvania. It's like it's a hell of a trek up this hill. It's stone gravel and it's hard to get up there. It's just tiny. I mean, it's so small. It's a cemetery. It was actually the Hoffman family, I think, is part of it in there. But I'm taking pictures and stuff. I'm thinking, I jumped. So something just flew on my camera. Bill goes, what? So I went back for it. I caught a leaf falling.
Yeah.
That creek gets up there too. So
Yep.
yeah. But there's some nice people got away without. But I miss those days getting out. Oh God, we just got a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's 10 years ago. I'm old now. So
No.
I'll be a big 5'5" this year.
Oh,
So
Jesus. You're only 6 years older than me. You're not old.
Yeah, I'll be 30 in 2 months.
Oh, God.
yeah. Shut up. That's like Mel, that girl. I think she's 28. She started by people last year. I'm sorry to bring young ones in. So, because like I said, I'll go as long as I can.
Yeah.
I'll be a wheelchair and feeding tube.
The spirits will be pushing me in my wheelchair.
Just mount a camera to it. Just mount a camera. You'll be all right.
Oh God. Like,
Jeez.
Tammy be going, Joni, where you rolling to? I don't know where it goes. Push me.
oh. It's time to change it back again.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, I'm gross. I can't help it. I've always been that way. We have to have a lot of fun we have too. Like every once in a while we'll just we don't do it often, but Teresa, who was part of our group, and we had to go to town. Now she's school. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and we're up in the bad teacher's room. And she's down the hallway checking some meters and stuff. And Bill right down in the step area, the kitchen area, and they have this old African tribal mask. And he sat down, he put this mask on, sat on the corner, all fours. She came around the corner, she had a flashlight with her. And he goes, like that. She jumped. She was, God damn me, Bill. I think it gets her a lot. Like you just sit at the round table and stuff at the Bill Sickens recorder or something. They turn around, sat on the table, went, like gets me shit. She jumps so fast. She's easy to pick on. But we do. We give off a little bit, but then we get down to it then, yeah. But, you know, a lot of times if you see someone, just talk about each other about stuff. Like, how was your day? How'd your day go last week? Or, you know, what you've been doing? And we pick up EPs while we're talking. So, yeah, I like that. Or I get a lot set up, too. About one of my best ones where we were at home in the mansion, and it's the first time I was there, and I was setting up my computer. I have software running everything.
Yeah.
And there's a spirit there of Anna. And I said, is Anna here? And I hear, mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, I just heard that. She came upstairs, and she's like, what's wrong? I said, you're not going to believe this. And I said, I could have swore her, a female said that. And she goes, yeah, well, I went back, I caught that on audio. I just said, yeah, that place was a good place to go, too.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all get these guys in there. Holland Mansion.
Hey, wherever.
Make
it a whole trip.
I'd rather do that one than the fire company or prospect place, since I already know it. So
We can make a week of it. I'm for
Yeah.
it.
yeah, let me check in the I want to answer in Pennsylvania, so it'll be an air trip for me. It'll be double off deal, so that'll be a 16-hour drive for you. That's probably
Yeah, it'll be a decent drive, but
yeah.
you probably make it.
Get a hotel room and already there.
Make a trip out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hang all weekend there if you want. So.
Just don't let Jordan drive.
The only thing that ticked us off was we got in July. It was kind of warm, but then you got these yahoos. It's not 4th of July, they shoot fireworks off. I just kind of had a whole pickup bed full of these fireworks to shoot off. And I went, thank you, I'll get it over real quick. I'll go up there, I'll toss some match them up, and they will go up quick. They'll be done fast. Yeah, that sucked for 2 hours. We had that contamination.
Yeah.
They wanted to give us money back. We said, well, it's not your fault. But you don't own that land. You can't do anything about it. So. But I'll make a list. And I'll try to get there sometimes too. Is that like 6 hours? Maybe?
Yeah, probably. Something like that. 6-7 hours.
Yeah. I think I got a place or two for me to come up. And we'll do one together.
You're always welcome.
Yeah, it'll be a blast. I've never been up there. Me over in life long. She doesn't believe ghosts and stuff, but she's never been in Massachusetts, I think, so.
Yeah. Of course.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, oh God, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah,
I could be before. Sorry, guys. I get to talking and I don't stop.
it happens. It
You know,
happens.
you know, so it's awesome to have you guys on. It's definitely on again. Because I booked that today. Guys, get some investigations on your belts coming up. I'll have you on me sometime in September.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'll reach out to you about these places too.
Yeah.
I know that my friends in Pennsylvania will probably want to do a hauling too, so we'll have two of those guys. So it'll be like probably 7 of us, 8 of us. Which is cool. It's a big place, and we can take shifts sometimes too.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
I mean, if you even have a bigger place, we have a team of, I think we're like 13 people right now. So if you ever have a bigger place, need people to fill it, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
What?
Yeah, that post town be a good one for that. That's a big school. Big school.
Yeah.
So that'll be probably the top one that you guys come down for. And I had an easier time getting in there. I think maybe in the other ones. It's closer for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, guys, ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. It's been fun.
Oh, it's been a blast.
Yes, it has been.
Appreciate it.
So, like I said, we'll definitely have you guys back on again. That's, I'm sorry Mel couldn't make it tonight. But it just was, she wasn't feeling good, and I told her, hey, don't worry, I think she's upset. I said, come on, yeah, don't worry about it. These things happen. Like, I haven't been feeling great either these past weeks and stuff, but,
Yeah.
but I that made it work. But, okay, guys, like I said, I'll give you guys again, and I had fun time, and because I'll get back to you on all those places so you can pick a spot and make a list for me too from up from there.
Of course.
We'll make it happen.
All right.
That'll work. Thanks a lot, Scott. We
Yeah,
Thank you.
but like I said, we had a blast. So next time, happy haunting, everybody.